Buckeye Talk video version from cleveland.com. Try the texts. All right, stretch one on Buckeye Talk. Nathan, you said the parents at the Saturday protest did not like the Thanksgiving plan. They did not think that was any better than January. Stephen, we'll start with you. This is the thing that was brought up on Friday. Everybody has confirmed that it's at least being discussed. Could they maybe, I think Pete Thamel said there's 4 different proposals the Big Ten is discussing. One is start around Thanksgiving. One is start right away, early January. One is mid-January. One is after the Super Bowl, which means like mid-February. Do you think, Stephen, is starting on Thanksgiving any better, any worse than starting like on January 1st, or is it basically the same thing?
I think starting the week of Thanksgiving might be better. I don't know why people don't like that idea. I understand maybe it's just because you're starting to play while the other 3 conferences are in the middle of playing their conference championships or whatever. But here's why I like it. One, you do get kind of a bubble effect because for the bulk of December, most of the students aren't going to be on campus in a normal year anyway. The
schools are like almost everybody moved up their academic calendar to have everybody go home by Thanksgiving and not come back until the second semester. So,
but even in a normal year, after like the first week of December, from what I remember from college, you aren't in class anyway. You go home. So even in a normal year, it's still just student athletes on campus. And Ohio State would be playing in a bowl game in a normal year anyway, so they still would be there preparing for a bowl game or a college football playoff game. So it's not like they're not playing football anyway. So you get at least 6 weeks where it's just student athletes on campus. So you do get that bubble effect and you get the bulk of your regular season out of the way without having to worry about, if a student athlete goes to get something to eat, is there going to be a regular student there who hasn't been, as safe with his protocol and isn't wearing a mask going to give him COVID? You don't have to worry about that because they're not there. And also, the earlier you play, the higher up the chances go that some of these guys who might go to the NFL are going to play as well because it's further away from when they have to actually start preparing for the NFL draft. So, yeah, I think in January Justin Fields might play. I 100% think he'll play if it's in a November season.
So if they said, Stephen, it's up to you, the choices are Thanksgiving start or January, first week of January start, you would pick Thanksgiving.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, what do you think? Do you like the Thanksgiving idea? Is it any better than January?
I think it's better than January from the standpoint that Stephen just said, as far as it would give the NFL prospects a more palatable option to play. I think it also, and it's one of the reasons why there might be some support from the coaches, I think it gives you a better chance to have a normal fall 2021 season, a full 12-game regular fall 2021 season, and more importantly, full 12 games worth of money in fall 2021 because you're going to need it because all these athletic programs need that money. So I think that's why Thanksgiving is better, and it's the one that I would vote for. And I think you're going to see Ohio State's coaches probably support it too. But again, the definite impression I got today from the parents I talked to today and what they were saying on the mic in front of everyone was that Thanksgiving is not better because Ohio State would not be able to be in the college football playoff if they don't start playing until Thanksgiving.
They're not going to be in that anyway if they play in January either. So
that's their point.
Yeah.
That's their point. So why not move it all the way up into October, move it 3 or 4 weeks earlier and sync that up? Although I'm not sure that the college football playoffs is going to wait around for whatever the Big Ten wants to do.
Yeah.
They're going to do their own plan.
Well, so, if they did it in October, it would just be, you've got to have your season done by December 20th. But if you could start in mid-October and get some kind of season done, however you decide it, 6 games, 8 games, whatever, cross divisions.
With no hiccups.
No, I know, but everybody, like that, if you started in mid-October, you could get a reasonable season done by December 20th, and then you're facing the same hiccups. The SEC is only starting September 26th. They'd only be 3 weeks ahead of you, right? And so, there is a way to do that if you wanted to do it. The thing I guess I would ask you guys is, we are getting into some iffy territory of what medically makes it, if you could play medically and scientifically and safely, if you could do it starting Thanksgiving, why couldn't you do it starting late September? What's the difference? That's barely any time now.
And that's why
2 months.
There's a distinction between would I vote for November over January or would I vote for November at all? I think those are 2 different things, right? I'm still skeptical that November will be able to happen. I'm still very skeptical scientifically that we're going to be in a place where the presidents and chancellors want to play football this fall.
But January at least gives you, we watched a whole season of everybody else. We watched a whole season of the NFL. Time, when we had Ralph Russo on Thursday, time is an asset, right? Just any of this stuff. The battle against the virus, time is an asset. So what's the difference between Thanksgiving and January? 5 weeks, 5 more weeks, right? 5 more weeks of information, 5 more weeks of medical advances. And again, the part of it is, here's why I think October wouldn't work either. Mostly why I think October wouldn't work. I don't think the Big Ten presidents are going to let their players have contact and practice until they let some other people be the guinea pigs. And so you have to extend out at least a month. So again, the SEC is not playing games till September 26th. If you're saying, why can't the Big Ten start in the middle of October? Part of my answer would be because they're not starting practice until the SEC starts games. And if you think it's 100% for sure that the SEC games will go off flawlessly with no problem, you're crazy. I'm not saying they won't go off fine, but if you're sure of it, you're crazy. It could be a disaster. So you're going to say, you're going to start Big Ten practice in like mid-September, and then the SEC plays, and by Thursday after the first game, you have 27 positive tests on every team in the SEC, and the Big Ten has started practice, and it's like, what are we doing? I just think you have to remember the practice leeway you have to give for this, and that's a big part of this, I think.